is Fox 14 News at 9.
The ArkLaMist lends a helping hand to folks in Florida. We'll tell you how they're pitching in during and after the storm. And a boat captain makes a desperate call for help after a diving vessel goes up in flames. More on the rescue operation turned recovery. Plus, Louisiana public colleges are making it easier to report hazing. We'll fill you in on the new process developed by the Board of Regents. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Chelsea Jones, and Sarah is back tomorrow. First on Fox, first responders from all over Louisiana are sending over their best to the East Coast to help those affected by Hurricane Dorian. Isabel Albritton is live in studio with more. Isabel?
That's right, Chelsea. With the best equipment and agents in the state, Louisiana is paying it forward for our friends on the East Coast. As Dorian makes its way to the East Coast, so are more than 100 U.S. Marshal and Fire Department agents from Monroe and several other cities in the state.
In the event there's a building collapse or there's water rescue, our specialists go with very special equipment to be able to mitigate that.
The agents have made their way to Florida and set up a staging area as they wait for orders from Florida officials. Once the storm passes, agents will search areas of 3 to 4 miles at a time.
We ensure there's no one trapped. We ensure there's no emergent needs of anybody, whether it be the rescue or emergency medical care. And then from there, we get people out of harm's way and get them to the proper sheltering where they can have shelter and be taken care of.
As agents help with rescues, one organization in Ouachita Parish plans to help with the aftermath. Operation Never Stop has helped with multiple natural disasters in the past, and this hurricane is no different.
We're staying in touch with contacts we have on the East Coast to see where the need's going to be and what the need's going to be once it, affects that area.
Bell says cleaning supplies is one of the most important necessities when helping with storm recovery efforts.
After a big event like this, everything's going to be, moldy and nasty. So cleaning supplies, personal effects, cleaning needs, toiletries, pet food is a big thing that's always overlooked. It's a big need.
Bell says his organization has worked with others on the East Coast who have also come to Louisiana's aid. It's
nice to kind of complement each other in times of need and learn something from each one of them we can put together and become better and better as each event unfolds.
State fire marshals say the Louisiana search and rescue teams are prepared to stay in Florida for up to 10 days. If additional manpower is needed, the governor's office will deploy more teams. For now, live in the studio, Isabel Albritton, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Isabel. An urgent search turned recovery for nearly 3 dozen people off the coast of Southern California. 34 people were on board this diving boat near Santa Cruz Island when a fire broke out overnight, all of them sleeping below deck. A mayday call alerting the Coast Guard, prompting a massive rescue effort. People aboard the nearby boat rescued 5 crew members. One is said to have minor injuries.
Fire department crews were fighting the fire when the vessel sank 20 yards offshore in 64 feet of water. 5 people were evacuated aboard a Good Samaritan pleasure craft known as the Grape Escape. Currently, 34 people aboard the vessel are unaccounted for.
The Ventura County Fire Department reports multiple people have died without a clear number of deaths. A team from the NTSB is investigating the fire. 2 days after a mass shooting in West Texas, the FBI is releasing new information on Saturday's horrific shootings. A postal worker, an educator, a truck driver, a man visiting his parents from out of town, and a 15-year-old girl were among the 7 people gunned down over the weekend. 22 people, including a 17-month-old girl, were also injured in the rampage. FBI officials said the shooter made a call 15 minutes before he opened fire on a state trooper.
He called the national tip line about 15 minutes before his encounter with the troopers. It was, frankly, rambling statements about some of the atrocities that he felt that he had gone through. He did not make a threat during that phone call. He ended that phone call.
The gunman was killed in a shootout with police near a movie theater after he abandoned his car and stole a Postal Service van. Now, this was the second mass shooting in Texas in a month, and yesterday new laws went into effect in the state, making it easier for people to carry weapons. The new laws will allow firearms to be stored in vehicles on school property, block landlords from prohibiting tenants from keeping guns and ammo on their property, and loosen rules dictating how guns must be stored in foster homes. Well, a Monroe man is behind bars tonight after being accused of slashing his girlfriend with a knife. Terry Kidd is charged with aggravated battery, and it all went down at a home on Breard Street just after 1 this morning. Monroe police say when they got to the home, they found a woman who said Kidd had stabbed her. The victim says Kidd became aggressive after he caught him cheating on her. She says he then grabbed a knife and slashed her on the left forearm. Meantime, another Monroe man is behind bars for allegedly holding a woman against her will for 3 days. Monroe police say an informant led them to Willis, England, after they had not heard from the victim in several days and heard loud noises coming from England's apartment. When officers arrived, they found the woman, and England, who was trying to escape out of the back window, was taken into custody by police. He faces a number of charges, including false imprisonment. Well, Louisiana's public colleges now have standardized forms to report hazing allegations. The Board of Regents developed specific forms for both colleges and organizations to provide hazing allegations to law enforcement. The forms include sections to explain actions taken to respond to the claims. The board adopted the forms at its meeting last week, along with a policy requiring any school or organization to publicize credible hazing allegations on its website. Some redactions are allowed, but the standardized forms and toughened disclosure come in response to new anti-hazing requirements enacted by lawmakers this year. Colleges face up to a $10,000 fine if they fail to report the claims. Well, the Ouachita Parish Mosquito Abatement District will be spraying for mosquitoes this week. They will spray tomorrow night, and then that will happen from 9 p.m. until around midnight, and residents are encouraged to stay indoors during that time. Well, still to come on Fox 14 News at 9, an Arkansas woman, or nonprofit I should say, is giving incarcerated parents a second chance at connecting with their children. We'll have more on the Storybook Project.
News sponsored by Marie's Medical.